Hey folks, Jonathan Dudley, PGA professional here. Just wanted to show you a little bit about how Sportsbox technology is really helping me improve my coaching and teaching. I came from a golf tech background and used motion measurement obviously to help my students play. But this is pretty awesome because you can get some swings from, PGA Tour guys, obviously, to use as reference models, and then, help your students set goals and quantifiable evidence. You just really gives them some metrics that they can focus in on. So we're just going to run through that really quick. So I have a few metrics down here at the bottom. So when I use Sportsbox, I go ahead, I get my student filmed and recorded, and then if I want to add a 3D reference model, I have those options available, but we'll kind of go through in the top right corner. So I set an example for Matsuyama. His chest bend at impact was slightly high, so that's an option here where we can go ahead and set goals for our students. If I went in here and wanted to create a new goal, let's say we wanted to limit our students' backswing. I would say one of the biggest goals that I see, though, has to do with sways and making sure that we get our trail knee sway or driving towards the target, right? We can look at all of these things. We could go to lead knee sway. So that's our, in Matsuyama's case, obviously is left. But let's say we wanted lead knee sway at impact to improve. We could adjust it that way. Most of the time, lead knee sway is right at the start of the downswing where our lead arm is more parallel to the ground. So that's downswing, arm parallel. And we could say left knee and then more to the target. So it depends how you want to explain that as a coach, but this is just an example. So now we've got a couple of different examples here. Now, lead knee sway with the driver, so you can kind of run it through and say, okay, well, Matsuyama, it looks like when you're starting left, you stay on that left foot for a while. Can you get that left knee to drive a little bit more towards the target? But you can see the uniqueness of his move here. When he's starting down, he really pushes into the ground. His knees aren't moving at the same time quite until about right here. So it's a little bit more unique at that first start of his downswing. But we see a lot of guys who hit it really hard, get a lot of pressure there on that left side. So something maybe that, he might need to think about. He certainly gets it moving by the time he gets it to impact. But you could use that as an example. All right, so now we'll move on to some other stuff. So cool thing about using Sportsbox is even though this one was filmed face on, we can actually look at it from some different directions. So you can go in here and go from the target line, behind, below, above, which is probably one of my favorite ones, face on, and then back to down the line. So from the target, it's kind of cool too because there's not too many times you're going to stand out there in front of your students. I've played around with this a little bit. It's actually pretty solid. Sometimes the wrist movements get a little bit distorted, but overall, it's been pretty good. So, but I would definitely encourage you to run the video through as a coach a couple of times, just to make sure that the avatar, as I call it, or the robot, looks like it's making a similar motion. Every once in a while, based on the lighting, it'll get a little distorted. But overall, it's been pretty good. So how do I get some of these lines on here? So being able to look over here at your visuals, which is just to the right of your lines. So if you go to your visuals, you can click a lot of these different options. So a lot of the ones that I'll use are the joint lines and the vertical lines. So if I'm working on sways, we're using the vertical lines a bunch because it's just very easy to tell this story. Like most my players, when we get to the top and we're struggling with driver, they don't have any what we'd call sway gap. So in the middle of the screen here, there's the center of the chest and the center of the pelvis. Normally the chest is actually ahead of the pelvis. Obviously we can see with Matsuyama that's not the case, but we work on sway gap at address. A lot of times their sway gap at address. When we come down to address, all their lines are stacked. Sometimes their light blue line is target side of in their golf swing. And so that really can create a mess. But you can see as Matsuyama gets to the top, he's increasing his sway gap. So that one helps there. When we're working on rotational stuff, if we go in and we move stuff away here, we want to work on rotational stuff. The dowels are obviously important, which is what a lot of us are used to. So, are we moving the dowels at the same time? Like, hopefully not, right? So the cool thing about it, right, if you wanted to just sit here, you can go in here, or you can just rotate your guy. But just, let's say from the target zone, you're like, okay, well, as Matsuyama comes into impact, he's definitely going to rotate his hips more than he's going to rotate his shoulders. So that can give you that view as well. So a few different things that you can do, and obviously you can add different reference models. So you'll need to talk to Sportsbox about getting some really good, clean videos if you don't have videos yourself of PGA Tour guys you want as a reference model, but they can help you with that. So adding reference models, 3D, we can do one really quick. So they basically give you the Bryson collection, which is pretty cool. So you can come in here, do the Bryson collection, and compare some students to Bryson. So I just grabbed an iron, but you go ahead, it'll come in locked. So this little lock button, if it stays locked, you can kind of see they're all going to try to move around the same time. Most of the time I have to unlock everything. So I'm using the slide bar a lot. You can use this option too, where it'll actually bring you to different points in your swing. So if you have a measurement set to where you want it, you can go back here too and just say, okay, I'm just using these quick hitters rather than using the slide bar all the time. So up to you how you want to do it as a coach, but I think there's a lot of cool technology going on here, and I really appreciate Sportsbox. It really helps us communicate the story to our students, and then we can send them the information for review, and then they can use Sportsbox to train. So hope this helps all of you coaches out there. Just a PGA Tour golf coach that teaches about 800 lessons a year right now. I cut back a little bit. I've taught up to 2,000 before, but yeah, around 800 lessons, and this is helping my students get a really good picture of how they can improve their game. So again, Jonathan Dudley out here at Forest Oaks Country Club using Sportsbox technology. Hope this helps